Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan, and I have just finished kitting up my Lion King new project that I'm working on. This is what it's going to look like. It says, remember who you are. We've got Simba, we've got Rafiki in there, we've got Mufasa in the sky. It's a 40 by 60. It only has 28 colors. You can tell it is going to be colorful and vibrant, but there's definitely sections of color, which I'm excited about because the last few that I did was very complex drill fields full of different colors. So I just went ahead and with my X-Acto knife, I cut along the whole span of the canvas. Because what I like to do is I like to work in big sections at once, and I'll peel back a section of it, and I'll work on 2 colors at a time or so, and then I'll peel a little bit more, and I'll do another or the same 2 colors as long as they're prevalent in that section, and then I'll keep going with that until I have reached either a good stopping point, like for this particular painting, there's the same colors over here as there is over here. So I might just skip Simba. I might just cut this here and then work on the same colors moving this way. Or I might just stop it here, finish this section, do this section, and then finish this section over here. And then I'm just going to work my way up the painting in these long sections, working from left to right. I noticed that because I'm left-handed, this is the easiest way for me to do it without getting so much lint on my painting, because when I work, I pick colors that are, especially on this diamond painting in particular, there's a lot of the same colors around here, right? So there's a lot of, I would probably do J's first, J's and Q's for sure, first. Yeah, that's probably my plan. And so yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna bring you all down really close so you can get a close look at it, and I will get started. Okay, so I'm gonna do Q first, which is down here because my arm is gonna continually touch this spot, so I wanna make sure I cover it first. So I'm gonna use my 3 drill tip here. There we go. The very first drills are going on the canvas. That's always like a significant milestone for me, I feel like. We spend so much time prepping our canvases, and then once we get started, it's like, wow. So this is actually like an army green color, like a beautiful olive color, and again, this is the bottom left-hand corner that I'm starting with here. And I always am very careful on the edges so that I can make my edges nice and straight. I've re-waxed my pen, and I've sort of pushed out the extra wax already, so it's kind of already in its little sweet spot of being able to pick up drills without being oozy. And what I do is I just go through and try to fill in all of the three in a rows that I can. I just realized that I kind of put these down a little off, so I find that if I get started on the right angle, it's much easier to follow suit. So I want to make sure that these first ones are nice and straight. Someone commented on my video and said that square diamond paintings are really hard. And I don't think it's very hard per se. I think it's tricky to get used to. But I don't know if hard is the right word for that. It's tricky to get used to for sure. But then once you're used to it, it's actually very satisfying to do. For me at least. So, I mean, I think it just takes a different skill set. You definitely need to practice with squares a little bit more. And practice kind of lining them up well. Because with rounds, I noticed that sometimes those are hard for me because they don't have delineated little sections where each one goes. You sort of have to just eyeball it. So in my opinion, I actually think that sometimes is a little bit more tricky than squares, but everyone has their own thoughts and opinions on that. I think squares reveal a better picture, I've decided, after all these years. I think that definitely squares have just more detail because they don't have any open spaces around them. So if there's any, I've never done a custom in a round because I had purchased one way back when I was doing square versus round, the Battle Royale that I called it. I didn't even, so with that Battle Royale, I had ordered the same picture. Granted, it was from 2 different companies, so that has something to do with it too. But, so it wasn't a true, like, valid test, and I understand that because it was 2 different companies. But the coloring of the round one in that picture was just so off, and I didn't even finish it. I'm actually going to throw away the canvas because it was just so bad. And I had finished the square one and it looked great, but the round one is just so, I mean, there's no point in even doing it, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's not worth my time. And I bought it a while ago. It's not even something that I could like give someone else because it's a custom. It's a picture of me giving my little pet cockatiel, bless her little heart, a kiss on the head. Really, really cute picture, but I already have it in square. So I'm just going to cut my losses and be done with it. So I haven't filmed close up in a long time, so I'm really sorry if I get if I go out of the frame. You just have to bear with me. I keep looking to check, but I know I'm going to forget to look one of these times, and I'm going to be out of the frame. I tend to kind of go for it, so. Oop, dropped one. I'll use you in a minute. Oop. So like I said before, I usually like to do 2, see, I'm out of the frame. Ugh. I usually like to do a couple colors at the same time. And I will here in a little bit, but I just wanted to get started on the right foot here. Just make sure everything's good to go. The other thing I like to do is I use my 3 drill as a 2 drill. So I just pick up 2 with it, and then I'll lay down, oops, I'll lay down my 2. That one, they turned a little bit on me. Perfect. Great demo. There we go. That was 3. Now here's 2. I don't always do it, but I tend to do it more often than not. Oops. Another shortcut I do that I've told you about is I take 3 drills and then I find a spot to put the 1 and then I put the 2. There we go. A lot of you have been wondering where I've been and why I haven't filmed. And it's mainly because, it's mainly because I usually when I think, oh, I should film, I think, oh, I don't really want to talk right now. So it's tricky with me because sometimes I really just want to diamond paint and not talk, and I just want to watch TV or listen to TV or listen to a book or whatever. And sometimes I just, I just want to relax and not have to worry about what I'm saying, although, I mean, who knows what I'm saying anyway. I've probably said everything I've already said before, but I know you guys like to hear me talk, and it's kind of like I'm right along with you, and I get it. I've been there. I've done that. I get it. I understand. But disclaimer is that I can't make everyone happy, and I understand that. Although I try. There's no possibility to do that. So, yeah. Oh, and if you guys haven't noticed, so I've made some playlists on my YouTube channel. So I've made a Paint With Me playlist. I made an unboxing playlist. One that says tips, tricks, and tools. One that is of inventory. One is of, another playlist is kitting up. And then another one is just like miscellaneous nonsense, if you will. So yeah, go check those out. I was told like you should make a playlist, so I did. I hope you guys enjoy it. I've got my old ones, my new ones, all of them, all in those playlists. Some of them I put in more than one playlist. I tried just to limit that, but because I know it gets annoying to see. Well, I know some of you like to watch the same video over and over again. But if you don't like that, you can just skip it. So yeah, I hope to come back a little bit more often now. I forget how fun it is to actually film and communicate with you guys. I'll probably do a live here at some point too, so we can actually have conversations. So yeah. And another question I was asked was, have you been diamond painting this entire time? The answer is yes, I have been diamond painting this entire time. I have not stopped. I took about, every now and then I take like a month break or a few week break. But I always tend to come back, It's one of those things that you miss, and then you do it for a little while, and then you're like, okay, I'm good. And then it brings you back, and you keep going back to it. So I have taken a couple of breaks, but I've been working on them ever since I started. I made one for Luke my fiance for Christmas. It's actually a pretty romantic one. It's of the two of us kissing on a golf cart. One of our favorite pictures together. And then I made one for Keegan, my bonus son. And that one is of Jack Skellington, because he loves The Nightmare Before Christmas, thanks to me. I got him into that. I remember being really into it when I was a kid. So, and now it's so sweet because he wants to be Jack Skellington for Halloween this year. And I mean, he said that he wanted to be Jack Skellington like after Halloween last year. And he still wants to do it. I thought he'd change his mind, but we'll see when we get closer to Halloween. But he, yeah, he seems pretty set on it. So we shall see. I'm not really sure other than face paint. I mean, I know I got to get him like a little suit and put the stripes on it, but it seems like a pretty easy costume. I wanted to have Luke be Jack Skellington and I would be Sally, and then Keegan would be Zero, the dog. But Keegan is like, no, I want to be Jack Skellington. So I was like, okay, well, maybe we can have two Jack Skellingtons. I've always wanted to do like a family costume. But I don't know if he's getting too old to want to do that or not. He didn't sound super excited when I approached him with the idea. Here's another tip for you guys. If you have a lot of color to lay, don't waste your time with these silly green tiny trays. Get yourself a big old honkin' tray. Like that. That's what I'm using right now because I just don't want to have to refill it over and over and over again. So I find that that's easiest. All right, so I'm going to try, I might give the cues a break if I'm getting my hand in the glue too much. But I was hoping to be able to do a couple of these guys in here, but it's just hard to brace your hand on anything. And I said in the kitting up video, a lot of these symbols are really smeared. They're not super clear, especially on the key, the legend that I used to label all the containers. So I'm hoping that I can make it through without too much confusion. We'll have to see. Okay, so that's all the cues for that little section. So I'm going to move on to the plus sign, which looks like, see if I can get it to work, that little plus sign guy. So I'm going to come back over to the bottom here, right there. I'm going to try to get some of these done down here because I know, like I said, I'm going to be putting my hand over here and it's going to get stuck in the glue and the lint and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, the more lint that sticks to your glue, the less sticky your glue is. And then you have a lot of popping drills and you have a lot of repair to do on the back end of your painting when you're finished with it. So I'd rather just get it covered up as soon as I can, so I don't have to deal with it anymore. So I still have to repair. I made 4 diamond paintings for my boss, my director, because she has 4 kids, and I made one for each of her children a long time ago. But what's kept me from giving it to her or giving them to her is that I always thought that I should frame them. And I thought, man, this is going to be a lot of money to frame all 4. And I finally talked to, and on top of the fact that there were a lot of popping drills in those canvases, and I'm a little nervous about taking them back out of my closet and seeing what the damage is. So I'm definitely glad that I saved all my drills from those paintings because I'm going to need them. I know that for sure. But I talked to her and I said, hey, I made 1 diamond painting for each of your kids. And she thought, she was so thankful. But I said, but, it's going to cost a lot of money to frame them. And I don't really know what your style is. And she says, oh my gosh, no. She goes, don't even bother. She's like, we can do that. So what I think I'm going to do is order some of those cardboard tubes off of Amazon, repair the canvases, spray them with Mod Podge or whatever, some sealant to kind of keep them in, because once they get there and if they pop off, then that's kind of crappy. But then I will roll them up and I'll just give them to her in the tubes. And that way, she can do whatever she wants with them when she wants them. I mean, I'm done with them and they're just sitting in my closet, so I might as well give them out, give them away. So, yeah. Because I'm moving to Indiana in the end of July. So I'm quitting my job and I'm moving there, and so I won't be with my school anymore, and it's a sad thing. I've been there for 8 years, and I just thought it would be kind of a good parting gift. I also have one for the church that we actually rent the space out from. My school isn't affiliated with the church, but we just rent space from them. And it's been nice. Oops. My gosh. How many times does that happen during a diamond painting session? Like 1,000? Did you guys hear my drills go crazy? Ooh, baby. Anyway, so I have one that's for the church that I work from. And I also need to repair that one because for some reason the canvases and the drills went through this really funky time when the drills were too big or they had lots of abnormalities in them. And it kind of messed with the canvas a lot. So if they're all pushing together on each other, all the drills are pushing together on each other, and they, all that tension builds up and they can just pop right off. I understand why it's happening. It drives me crazy. And I wish it wasn't happening. So, and like I said, if they want to, if they want to throw it away and they don't want to hang it up or anything or buy a frame for it, fine. Like, once I give it to you, it is yours and you can do what you want with it. But I hope that they will frame it and put it up somehow. I've just never given a diamond painting as a gift to anybody other than like Luke and Keegan that wasn't sealed or like framed. I've only given away framed diamond paintings. So I'm a little nervous about the repair process and if I need to, send them with anything to repair it. I might even just give them like a cheap, like a pink pen, a little square wax, because Lord knows I have plenty of extra of those things. And then I might just give them a few, different colors and say, here you go. If they pop out, fix it. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not rocket science on how to repair it, but it's something that, you know, if you're giving a gift, you don't want to have them fix it. You know what I mean? You want it to be good to go. But some drills are just poppers and some aren't. Alright, so I'm kind of bracing my hand with my pinky here, and I know I'm sticking to the canvas. I know I've only got a few more of these to go. So I'm sort of just bearing with me here. Just kind of, there we go. One more. Alright, so I'm done with the plus symbol. And I think I'm going to get started on the J's, which I have right here. It's a beautiful orange color. DMC code is 3821. So yeah, this is a beautiful, like almost like an egg yolk color. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do checkerboard pattern, but with 3 instead of just 1. That way I can keep my drills straight, but it's also, you know, not taking forever. Especially with a lot of color block like this. This has a lot of color right here. So, just going to do the edge real quick. There we go. There we go. I'm just going to keep going on this until I fill it in as much as I can, and then I'll go in and do the single tip and all the other parts. I see now that they have diamond painting ASMR. I haven't watched any of the videos yet, but I was sort of wondering if it's like the clicking of the drills or what about it is ASMR. I wasn't quite sure. And like I said, I just haven't watched the video yet. I was searching them at right after work, and I didn't have time to watch a bunch of videos, so I was just like, oh, that's interesting. I bet you it's the clicking of all the drills into place. So that's pretty neat. Again, I have a lot of J's to lay down, and I know I'm using a green tray, and I just told you not to bother with it. But I had already poured it out, so I'm just going to go with it until it's empty, and then I'll probably change to a bigger tray. But also, this tiny little tray is really fitting in the little spot I have to work in right now, so I might just keep it. I don't know. What works and doesn't work is really subjective, and it's also dependent upon the situation of the canvas, is what I've noticed. So some canvases, if I notice that, you know, there's a solid section of color in one spot and then a lot of mix in another spot, depending on how I'm feeling, I honestly might just, you know, start in a different area of the canvas and just start. I don't really have like one single way of doing things, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I'm also trying to say that if you don't do it the same thing I do, that's okay. And if what I'm doing really doesn't work for you, that's okay too. But I'm just sharing with you the way I do it so that hopefully I can maybe help somebody who wants to try it like me, you know? It's always nice to have support in whatever you do, so. Also, I'm left-handed, so I think a lot of left-handers go from right to left. I'm not going to say that so don't quote me on that, but I just think it's really interesting the way people are just so different in how they do diamond paintings. Ooh, that was slidey. That was a slidey one. Alright, so you get the idea of the checkerboard pattern using the 3 drill tips. So now I'm just going to go in and fill in all the empty sections. Just making sure they're all stuck down and nothing's popping up. There we go. I like to work at my dining room table sometimes, especially when I'm filming. It's just way easier than trying to balance on, you know, my lap desk or on my bed or whatever. It's just so much easier on a flat surface. But also my neck starts to hurt because this table isn't tilted or anything. So I like to switch it up from time to time. And voila, we've got a filled in section right there. So that's amazing. That was fast and easy. I mean, you know, as fast as one can hope. Not that I try to rush through these or anything like that, but when you're laying one color, you know, it can get kind of tedious. So it's nice to be able to see it going in pretty quickly. It sort of gives me a kind of a comfort knowing that it's not going to take, or knowing that I'm making progress, I think is the biggest part. I know a lot of people in the diamond painting world feel really overwhelmed, at least at first, about doing larger diamond paintings because they're like, well, I just feel like it's never going to get done and it's just not enough progress for me to see and all that. But I don't know. Well, number one, the bigger the painting, the better the resolution. And I don't really want to waste my time on doing a super pixelated, you know, diamond painting. I like the illusion of the, you know, the sparkles and the 5D that it gives off and all that stuff. So I make sure it's big enough for whatever the picture is showing me. But I can see how people feel that way though, because it definitely is a process. Especially if you're a busy person and you don't have a lot of downtime. I can definitely see how this would be a little bit daunting. Or if you're like a instant gratification type person, more so than myself. And you think this process is too slow, go for smaller ones. No big deal. And I have some that are finished that are just sitting under my bed in a Tupperware container, you know, in a big bin, just laying there. Because, you know, some of my smaller ones, and I'm out of the frame again, look at that. Some of my smaller ones, I was just kind of doing them for like fun and just, you know, I didn't really have any gifts in mind. I don't want to hang them up in my house. So it was really just an activity to do, and now that they're done, I'm like, okay, well, they're going in a bin under my bed. But who knows, maybe someday I'll take it out and, you know, want to give it to somebody or something. Who knows? Nobody knows. All right. So I'm going to finish this line here, and then I think I'm going to take a quick break because my neck is hurting and I need to stretch it out. And this video is already pretty long anyway, so I'm going to wrap up just this little section here of J's real quick, and I think I just did. Yep, but I also have all these J's left to do. And then I will move on to the next section and keep out the same colors that I have. So I've got the plus sign, the Q, and the J's. So I'm just going to keep going all across until it doesn't make sense anymore. And then I'll pick some different colors. So until next time, you guys, please keep diamond painting. Send your comments below and keep diamond painting. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.